Madison thought she could get away with anything, but one careless swing of her purse at a police officer changed everything in an instant. What happens next will shock you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to watch the full story. Madison and Sarah were walking down the busy downtown avenue, the sun reflecting off glass storefronts and traffic lights above. Madison's designer purse swung violently from her shoulder, her ripped jeans and cropped top making her stand out in the crowd. Her oversized sunglasses reflected the chaos around them. Honking cars, cyclists weaving through traffic, and pedestrians hustling past. She was fuming over a minor traffic incident earlier, muttering under her breath about how people had no respect anymore. Sarah kept glancing nervously at her, hoping her friend wouldn't escalate the situation. "You're going to get us in trouble," Sarah whispered, tugging gently at Madison's arm. "Just let it go." Madison shook her off impatiently, her voice sharp. "Let it go? Are you kidding me? That idiot just ran a red light and almost hit my car. This is ridiculous. I should have honked at him for like 5 minutes straight." She took a deep breath, swaying slightly, trying to calm herself but failing. Nearby, Officer Jamal Reed was directing traffic at the intersection. His uniform was crisp, his posture firm, and his eyes calm but alert. He noticed Madison striding toward the street edge, her agitation clear, her purse swinging dangerously. Drivers slowed as he raised his hand to manage the flow of cars. He had seen plenty of tempers flare on streets like this, but something about Madison's energy immediately put him on alert. As Madison reached the front of the line at the crosswalk, a car lightly brushed the side of her vehicle. She slammed her hand on the hood, yelling at the driver, "Watch where you're going! Are you blind or something?" Her voice was high-pitched and sharp, drawing glances from nearby pedestrians. Sarah tried again to intervene. "Madison, please, don't." But Madison ignored her, her anger escalating. She stomped forward, turning her glare toward Officer Jamal. "And you? You think you're some kind of traffic hero?" she shouted, swinging her purse aggressively, almost hitting a cyclist who swerved out of the way. Jamal raised a hand, motioning her to calm down. "Ma'am, step back. Everything's fine," he said in a calm, measured voice. Madison scoffed. "Step back?
You're doing nothing!"
"You're just standing there while people ruin my life." Her tone dripped with entitlement and she leaned closer, purse poised. Sarah's eyes widened and she shouted, "Madison! Stop!" The crowd around them began to notice. Some pulled out their phones, recording the unfolding drama. Bystanders murmured, whispering to each other about the woman's aggression. A mother shielded her child's eyes. Madison, oblivious to the attention, swung her purse again, this time hitting Jamal lightly on the shoulder. The leather strap made a sharp sound, and a few people gasped. Jamal's expression remained calm, but his voice turned firmer. "Ma'am, you just assaulted an officer. Step away from me." Madison's face turned red with anger. "What? You can't just touch me."
I was defending myself.
"You're overreacting." Her voice was rising, attracting more onlookers. "You're doing this because of your color," she yelled, her words cutting through the hum of traffic. Sarah grabbed her arm, her grip firm but gentle. "Madison, don't say that. Just calm down, please." But Madison's pride and fury were unstoppable. She tried to pull free, swinging her purse wildly, accidentally hitting a nearby signpost. People were now stopping to watch, filming every second. Jamal moved swiftly but carefully, placing handcuffs on her wrist. "You're under arrest," he said firmly. Madison screamed, struggling against the cuffs. "No, you can't. This is harassment. I didn't do anything wrong." Her words were frantic, each one more desperate than the last. Her sunglasses slipped down her nose, revealing wide, panicked eyes. Sarah tried to reason with her, whispering, "It's over, Madison. Just stop resisting. You're only making it worse," the crowd murmured, some cheering quietly for Jamal's composure, others gasping at Madison's outburst. A few people stepped closer, filming, whispering to each other, "She's crazy." And wow, look at her attitude. Madison's attempt to maintain control over the situation had completely backfired. By now, Jamal had secured her and was guiding her toward the patrol car. Traffic slowly resumed, but the tension lingered. People continued recording, capturing Madison's humiliation as she struggled and shouted, her racist assumptions laid bare. She had misjudged the officer entirely, assuming her anger and privilege could manipulate the situation. As she was placed in the car, Madison finally paused, her chest heaving, her face red with both fury and dawning regret. Sarah followed, trying to smooth things over, pleading with her to understand the consequences. Jamal remained professional, closing the door and walking away, leaving Madison to her thoughts and the reality of her actions. Even as the crowd dispersed, whispers continued. Madison's brief moment of rage had turned into a viral spectacle. Her behavior, entitled and aggressive, had not only humiliated her, but also made a stark example of the consequences of unchecked anger and racist assumptions. She had learned far too late that some mistakes are not just embarrassing, they can change everything in an instant. Madison's frustration boiled over as she took a step closer to Officer Jamal. Her hand tightened around the strap of her designer purse, the leather creaking under the pressure. "I can't believe this. Do you see what's happening here?" she shouted, her voice echoing across the street. Cars honked impatiently behind them, drivers craning their necks to see the unfolding confrontation. Pedestrians stopped in their tracks, some holding their phones up, recording every moment, their whispers blending into a low murmur. "What's going on?" "That woman is insane!" Sarah tried again to intervene, grabbing Madison's arm. "Madison, stop! Please, this isn't worth it," she pleaded, her voice trembling. Madison yanked her arm free with a sharp jerk, glaring at Sarah. "I'm not stopping! He needs to know that people can't just treat me like this." Jamal stepped toward her cautiously, his badge glinting in the sunlight. "Ma'am, calm down, step back. You're causing a scene and you're putting yourself in danger." Madison sneered, ignoring him. "Calm down? You're the one in uniform. You think you can boss me around?" She raised her purse higher, the strap swaying like a whip. A nearby cyclist swerved to avoid getting hit, narrowly missing Madison's swinging bag. A soft gasp rose from the small crowd forming around them. Then, in one swift motion, Madison swung her purse directly at Jamal's shoulder. The leather strap smacked against his uniform with a sharp crack. The officer's hand instinctively rose to block, but the force still caused him to stumble slightly. "Ma'am," he said, firm now, "step away immediately. You just assaulted a police officer." Madison's eyes widened with a mix of defiance and panic. "What? You can't just arrest me?"
I was defending myself.
"You're doing this because of your color," she shouted, her words slicing through the growing crowd's whispers. Her face burned red as she realized her outburst was now being recorded by multiple phones. Sarah pulled at her arm again. "Madison, stop! Please, just stop! You're making this worse!" Madison yanked free once more, swinging the purse in frustration, accidentally hitting a nearby street sign. A passerby muttered, "She's going to regret that." Another whispered, "That cop is staying calm, though. I can't believe she's doing this." Jamal calmly reached for his radio, speaking into it as he assessed the crowd. "Unit 14, we have an assault in progress at Main and 7th. Suspect is white female, aggressive, refusing to comply. Please respond." His tone never wavered, but every word carried authority. Madison, meanwhile, stomped her heels on the pavement, shaking with a mixture of rage and fear. "You think you're so professional. You can't just arrest me." Her voice cracked as her anger began to mix with panic. The people around them were now fully engaged, some filming, some whispering, and some moving closer to see what would happen next. A man with a camera phone muttered, "She's screaming racial slurs now. Oh, wow, this is going to go viral." Jamal stepped closer, his hands raised but ready. "Ma'am, you need to stop resisting." "You're under arrest." Madison froze for a split second, her heart pounding. Her eyes darted to Sarah, who was shaking her head in disbelief. "Madison, you're going to jail if you don't stop." Instead of calming down, Madison's anger flared again. She swung her purse once more, narrowly missing Jamal's head. People gasped, and someone shouted, "Back off!" Another man pulled out his phone and started recording commentary, whispering, "This woman is asking for it." Jamal moved decisively, grabbing her arm and gently but firmly twisting it behind her back. Madison cried out, pulling against him, but Jamal's grip was firm. He began placing handcuffs around her wrists while keeping his voice calm. "Madison, stop resisting. You are under arrest for assaulting an officer." Madison's face twisted with fury. No, this is harassment. You're doing this because of who I am, she screamed, struggling. Her oversized sunglasses slid down her nose, revealing wide, panicked eyes. The crowd was now fully surrounding them, some filming, some whispering, some even cheering quietly for the officer's composure. Sarah stayed close, holding Madison's shoulder. It's over, Madison. Just stop fighting, please. You're only making it worse. Madison shook her head violently, swinging her purse one last time, accidentally hitting the patrol car door. Jamal finally had enough. He guided her toward the car, ensuring she didn't hit anyone else. Step inside, he said firmly. Madison resisted at first, her anger and panic mingling. But the reality of the cuffs and the crowd's gaze slowly sank in. The crowd began murmuring more loudly now, some shaking their heads at Madison's behavior, others whispering about the officer's restraint. She's gonna regret that, one man muttered. A woman nearby added, she's lucky she didn't get hurt. As Jamal helped Madison into the patrol car, she finally began to realize the gravity of her actions. Her face was flushed with a mix of rage and dawning regret. Sarah followed, trying to calm her down, whispering, "It's okay. Just learn from this." Madison sat in the car, slumping back against the seat, the weight of her decisions pressing down on her. The officer remained professional, closing the door behind her, ensuring she was secured but treated fairly. The street slowly returned to normal, though whispers and phone recordings lingered. Madison's outburst, entitled and aggressive, had been captured in full, her moment of rage immortalized by dozens of witnesses. Even as traffic resumed, the lesson was clear: unchecked anger, entitlement, and racist assumptions had consequences far beyond embarrassment. Madison had learned, in a very public and undeniable way, that one impulsive moment could completely change the course of her day and her life. Madison's fury reached its peak as Jamal guided her toward the patrol car. Her heart raced, her chest heaving, and her palms ached from struggling against the handcuffs. The crowd had grown larger, dozens of bystanders now fully engaged, phones raised to record every second. Madison's face was red, her eyes wild, and her voice had climbed to a shrill pitch. "You think you can just arrest me?" she screamed, jerking against Jamal's grip. "I didn't do anything wrong. You're just doing this because of your color." Her words sliced through the hum of traffic, causing a ripple of murmurs through the crowd. Some gasped audibly, others whispered disapprovingly, while a few raised eyebrows in disbelief. Sarah tried to intervene again, her voice trembling. "Madison, stop, please! You're only making it worse." But Madison shoved her aside with a frantic motion, swinging her purse one last time in desperation. The leather strap struck the patrol car door, bouncing back and grazing her own shoulder. Her panic made her movements frantic, uncontrolled, and all eyes were now on her. Jamal's voice cut through the chaos, calm but commanding. "Madison, enough. You are under arrest. Stop resisting or things will get worse." Madison turned toward him, wide-eyed, her anger giving way to shock at the realization that he was not intimidated by her outburst. "You can't do this!" "People like you always think you're so... Her words faltered, and she spat out a final insult, a racial jab meant to wound. The crowd collectively flinched. Someone muttered, "Wow, she's going too far." Jamal, maintaining full composure, responded with measured authority. "Ma'am, that's enough. Any further aggression or insults will be documented, and you will face additional charges." "Step into the car." Madison's panic now morphed into desperate resistance. She tried to pull away, twisting against the cuffs, swinging her purse again. But Jamal's grip was firm. He used his training to control her without causing injury, redirecting her energy safely while keeping her restrained. The crowd gasped as Madison flailed, some murmuring, "She's completely losing it," while others whispered, "He's so calm." Impressive. Sarah held back tears, placing her hand on Madison's back. "It's over, Madison. Just stop, please. Think." The physical struggle ended when Jamal managed to guide her fully into the patrol car. Madison's legs stumbled as she sat down, her chest heaving, sweat forming on her forehead. She pounded her fists against the sides of the seat and shouted, "No! You can't do this!" "I didn't do anything wrong." Jamal closed the door firmly but gently, giving her space while keeping the situation under control. "You assaulted an officer and resisted arrest. You will have the opportunity to explain yourself in court. For now, remain calm," he said, his tone leaving no room for argument. The crowd's murmurs rose as someone said, "She's going to regret this. Big time." Another whispered, "That cop handled her like a pro. Look at her, she's spiraling." Madison slumped back in the seat, her body trembling with a mixture of rage, fear, and dawning realization. Even as the traffic resumed and pedestrians moved on, the weight of the moment pressed down on Madison. She had gone from confident and entitled to trapped and exposed, her behavior recorded and witnessed by dozens. Every racial insult, every swing of her purse, every word of resistance had consequences, immediate and irreversible. Inside the patrol car, Madison's anger began to turn into shame. Her breathing slowed slightly, though her eyes still darted around, realizing that her public display had left her humiliated and legally in trouble. Sarah stayed close by the car window, trying to offer comfort, but Madison barely noticed her. She was consumed by the gravity of what had just happened. One impulsive act, one swing of a purse, one racist outburst, and her life had been abruptly changed. The crowd began to disperse, some shaking their heads in disbelief, others quietly congratulating Jamal on his professionalism. The scene had been chaotic, public, and tense, perfectly capturing the instant where Madison's choices collided with real-world consequences. Madison's desperation and aggression had peaked, and now the full reality of her actions was unavoidable. Madison sat in the patrol car, her chest heaving, her face flushed, and her hands cuffed in front of her. The adrenaline that had fueled her rage slowly ebbed, leaving behind a mix of fear, humiliation, and dawning regret. She glanced out the window at the busy street, where traffic had resumed and bystanders were beginning to disperse. Many had recorded the incident on their phones. She knew immediately that her moment of anger would follow her far beyond this intersection. Sarah remained outside, speaking softly through the car window. "Madison, it's over now. You have to calm down. You need to understand what just happened." Madison didn't respond immediately, her mind racing. She replayed the events in her head. The swing of her purse, the words she had shouted, the shocked expressions of the crowd, and the calm, unshakable authority of Officer Jamal. Each memory brought a sharp pang of embarrassment. Her entitlement and unchecked anger had not only made her look foolish, but had also landed her in legal trouble. Officer Jamal closed the patrol car door behind her, ensuring she was secure but treated fairly. As he walked back toward traffic, he maintained his professional composure, directing vehicles and pedestrians with the same calm precision as before. He didn't gloat, didn't yell, and didn't let Madison's behavior affect his duty. The contrast between her chaos and his professionalism left an impression on the crowd, some of whom whispered their admiration for the officer's control under pressure. Inside the car, Madison's fury gradually turned into self-reflection. She slumped in the seat, staring at her purse lying discarded on the floor. Her racist outburst, her aggressive swinging, and her refusal to listen to Sarah had all compounded in an instant, leading to consequences she could no longer ignore. The reality of the arrest hit her fully. This was no longer about a minor traffic incident or a perceived slight. It was about her own choices and the public accountability she now faced. The officers who had arrived to assist Jamal helped guide Madison through the booking process. Each step was methodical, professional, and firm. Madison's attempts to argue or justify her behavior were met with calm responses. The law would handle her actions, and her entitlement held no weight in the system. Her earlier assumptions that she could manipulate the situation or intimidate the officer had been completely shattered. Meanwhile, footage of the incident was already circulating online. The videos captured Madison's aggression, the swing of her purse, her racial remarks, and Jamal's calm handling of the situation. Social media users commented on the stark contrast between her chaotic behavior and the officer's professionalism. Some viewers condemned Madison, others praised Jamal, and many simply shared the footage as a cautionary tale. By the time Madison was released into Sarah's care after processing, the gravity of what had happened had fully settled in. She was quiet, reflective, and visibly shaken. The incident had exposed not only her impulsive anger, but also the reality of public accountability. Madison had learned a hard lesson. Unchecked temper, entitlement, and prejudice could lead to immediate, life-altering consequences. As they walked away from the police station, Sarah whispered, "You're lucky it didn't go worse. You need to think before you act next time." Madison nodded silently, her mind replaying every moment. She knew that this incident would follow her, not just as a legal record, but as a public example of what happens when anger, privilege, and prejudice collide. Even as the city carried on around them, Madison's life had changed. The experience was a stark reminder. Actions have consequences, and one impulsive moment can alter everything. Jamal continued his patrol, unnoticed by many, his professionalism standing as a quiet testament to authority, restraint, and justice. And Madison, once confident and entitled, now faced a reality shaped by accountability, humility, and the inescapable eye of the public. The lesson was clear, unforgettable, and undeniable. Some mistakes aren't just embarrassing, they are life-changing.